I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way. I go solo, oh I go solo. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Hello, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here with Juno, and today we're doing a training video. So with Juno, we got him from some people, a little bit of his backstory. We got him from some people who got him at an auction, had him for about 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, like 2 months, and then they sold him to us. So they didn't really know his backstory because, they were at the auction. So we think that he might have been abused, just like with some clues that we have found. So he's afraid of whips, which is not very good because if you don't know, lunging, you use a whip. You don't have to, but that's the way I know how to lunge, is to use a lunge whip. I don't actually ever touch the horse with the whip. I just kind of use it to kind of push them out, help them guide where they're going to go. So that's what I use it for. Obviously not to hurt them, but I don't think that's what Juno's old owners in the past have used whips for. So I've been kind of desensitizing him to whips. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to show you kind of what the process is, what I've kind of just been doing here and there occasionally, and then what are some tips that you could do if your horse has these same issues. So let's get into it. Also, I have this little pouch. It's actually meant for dogs, but I've been using it for horses. And then I just have these little treats from, I think they're from Tribute, the brand. These are really good training treats because they're smaller. So I have those in a pouch here as well, so that I can use them for when I train. Okay, so now I have Juno. He's all haltered. He's got his blanket off, and then we did already go for a ride today. So usually before a training session, I usually give him a little brush down. Sometimes you can pick out their hooves. But because we already did go for a ride today, he is really clean, and his hooves are already cleaned out. So I'm just going to get straight into the training part now. Okay, so now I just grabbed the lunge whip here. I'm just going to leave that in the corner because I'm not obviously going to start with that. Starting off with this little crop. And the only reason why I actually got this was because somebody, Rio, doesn't like to load onto the trailer. So when we had him, we sometimes had to use this and tap him on the butt. That was lovely. So I'm just going to start off by coming up to him. He does have his halter and leader up on, but because this is something that he might spook at or react in a negative way, I'm not going to tie him up. I'm just going to hold him in my hand. So I'm actually going to move over there. So I'm just going to start off by taking this. I'm going to let him sniff it because, this is something that he doesn't necessarily love. He doesn't love this. So I'm just going to kind of put it near him, go down his neck. It looks like he's sniffing the ground. Not bothering too much by it. And I'm just going to kind of brush it over his body. Just in a simple way. He's looking curious. He's like, do you have any treats for me, girl? He knows at this point that when I start to do this, he's supposed to get treats, but he's not going to get some yet. Just because I don't want him to think, oh, every single time she does this, I'm going to get treats, no matter what. That's not the case either. He's going to get treats when he's good, not in a routine. So I just kind of move it over him, along his belly, just slowly gliding it around him. See, he reacted a little bit, but he's doing really good. Being really proud of him. I don't usually go near his bum yet, because that's where this would have been when it was hitting him. So now he's being good, and now he's being pushy again. He's not going to get a treat when he's pushy. He's going to get a treat. Yeah. He's putting his head down. He's trying to eat the straw. That's not a good idea either, buddy. Let's He's just kind of fiddling around with it. So yeah, I just kind of do this a little bit, and then I'll give him a treat occasionally every now and then, just so he knows that he's being good. So now I'm going to kind of cover his back, and then his hind end, which could be a little bit more sensitive to your horse. Also, the reason why he's being so calm is because I've done this a couple times with him already. If this was his first time, it would not be this calm. So don't worry, if your horse is not acting with this the first time, if you have to do this, then it could just be because it's the first time and it takes some time to get here. Now he's trying to eat the crop. Oh, he's holding the crop. Oh my gosh, he dropped it. Okay, well, that's actually a good sign because that means that he thinks of it more like a toy and not as much as a weapon, which is also really good. So I'm just gonna do that a bit more on both sides. So yeah. Also, a couple tips for when you're doing this. I would make sure that your lead rope is really loose in your hand. I would go slow, like, I would talk. If they start to move, be like, whoa, you know. And then just kind of be patient. Also, throughout this, I have this lunge whip in the corner. He doesn't really notice it. We're not there yet. In this training session, starting off small. So he's being really playful. He's trying to eat everything. So yeah, and if he's trying to get to the treats, I'd say no. And then I only give him a treat when he's not being pushy. Like if he's trying to get a treat and everything, while I'm doing that, and he's like, you got treats, give me some treats. I'm gonna say no. He's being really fiddly. But then if he doesn't have a treat, like if he's just hanging out, then that's when I'll give him a treat. And then another good tip is if you have somebody out there to help you, or you can do this yourself, which is what I do. If you can stroke them with the crop while you're giving them a treat, that's really good too. Or if you have like a friend or a parent or somebody that you know, just in your horse knows. You don't do some of your horses are very comfortable around. Now Juno, he gets a bit more antsy or a bit more like fidgety around boys over girls. Also could be because of his past, but so just make sure it's somebody your horse has already known. That's just kind of giving them a treat. Somebody your horse already trusts. Maybe it's a trainer. It's giving them a treat while you're stroking them. But I just kind of do it at the same time, which you can also do as well. So yeah, he's being very silly goose. So yeah, I'm just going to continue with what I was doing before. Okay, so now that we have like our warm-up or starting done, he's really good with the crop. I also did go on his legs a bit as well, which is I think really important to do. So now I'm going to move on to the lunge whip, which is a bit slower. We've only done this once other time before. I've done this quite a few times. So if he starts getting uncomfortable or anything, I will just stop. But he seemed pretty okay with the last time. He was a bit more frantic than the crop. So we'll just see how he does with this. So yeah. Okay, so now I have a pretty chill horse. He did just go poo. So maybe that's why he was, I don't know. He seemed pretty okay. So yeah, now I do have the lunge whip with me, and I'm not gonna let the end hang. I'm first just gonna let him sniff it again, see what it smells like, away from my treats. He is really, oh my gosh, he's trying to eat everything. Okay, well, very playful mood. He's not 4, he's 14. So I'm just gonna kind of start by just rubbing it around him. He knows he has treats. That's what he's focusing on. Which, honestly, I'd rather him focus on that over the whip being on his body. But I'm just doing the same thing that I was doing with the crop. Literally just rubbing it all around. Also, if you'll notice, I'm not holding the handle. I'm holding about halfway, holding both ends of it. And he's being a really chill dude. He actually doesn't mind it. That's why I always warm up with the crop. If I started like this, he might not like it so much. Also, while I'm doing training, whether I'm filming or not, I always like to talk. Just say around things. Maybe I'll tell a story. Maybe I'll talk to him about my day at school. Just talking, especially when you're kind of behind them a little bit or moving around them a lot, like this exercise. It's good for them to know where you're at, to not have them stare at you. So I just always talk. Obviously right now I'm talking, or maybe I talk, I'm like, hey, we should do this and then that and all these things. But right now, this to him is just like the crop, because he doesn't even realize that there's the other half. So now I'm gonna just do that a bit more times. We are joined by Rio. He decided to come join us. He just wants to hang out with Juno. Okay, so I just kind of went over. I also held out the whip, not just from the halfway, but from the handle, and he did really good. I went over his legs. He got some treats. He was amazing. Went a lot better than I expected, actually. I actually didn't know how he was going to be. I didn't know if he was going to be a bit more, spooked by it, but he was really good. I think he's starting to trust me now, which is good. So yeah, and then I just been giving him treats, and every time he's kind of pushy about the treat, I dismiss that behavior and I push his head away and I say no. While I'm still doing the whip thing. I know it's a lot to think about, but that's how training can go. So then I give him the treat once he's calm and not asking for it. Like right now, he's not being pushy. Even though he didn't do much, he's not being pushy, so he gets a treat. Now he's coming in. Now he would not be getting a treat because he's starting to come near me, go into the treat pouch. So yeah, he was doing really good. Then I just kind of say no, push his head away. But yeah, that's our little training session. I think now I will just give him a little brush down, and then we might go on a little walk around outside just to stretch out his legs a bit, even though we have already gone on the ride today. Just like a little finishing exercise to just finish off his brain. Okay, so I just gave him a little brush down, and that is going to be the end of our little training session. So, no, you're not getting pushy. So now I have this bigger treat that I'm going to give him, just like it was an end result. But yeah, he was really good today. Also, a little warning, disclaimer, whatever, this is not meant to be done in one day. This is something I've kind of been doing casually over the course of a couple weeks. So if your horse does not get it on the first day, that's normal. If they do, that's really good. But Juno did not. I've been a couple weeks, so just coming out here, not necessarily every day. That would be a lot, but just coming out here occasionally, maybe like two times a week. And then I'll just kind of do this with him. And he's been doing really good with it. So, yeah, as you can tell, today he was really good. So this is meant to be like every couple days throughout some weeks. Like not just one day doing this and you're done. It could take a little longer for some horses. It could be a little less. But that's just the world of horses, is they just take more time than you think sometimes, that's why it's really hard to create schedules and everything. But yeah, this whip training, desensitizing, takes a long time, especially if more horses, some horses might have a bit more neglect and a bit more trauma towards the whip. Others might be a bit more, it's okay, he's trying to open it. Others might be a bit more, okay with it. But yeah, this video is not meant for every single horse because some horses like Rio are fine with the whip. They would not need this. I think he's falling asleep, but yeah. So with that, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you learned something, and I hope this can help you and your horse overcome something that's maybe challenging. Also, I'm not a horse trainer by any means. This is just what I found has kind of been working with my horse, Juno here. I don't know if it'll work with your horse. This is just my information. I'm putting it out there to hopefully help some people. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video. And hopefully I'll probably do a video when we try to lunge again, once he's pretty comfortable with the whip and we can lunge. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!